Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are and whatever time it is. I hope you are having a good one. Welcome back to House Flipper 2 with Rash Decision. If you enjoy this type of content, please leave me a like, subscribe, and maybe even a comment to let me know. Enjoy the video. My beautiful audience, welcome back to another Mod Review Monday, and this one caught my eye. This isn't something I usually do. Like, I actually went through everything from the past week, and I didn't really find anything that really caught my attention for like large homes or big, spacious, really anything much of, to be honest with you. Then I came across this one when I went back through and made a second pass, just looking for really anything that kind of caught my attention. This one, its picture is very unassuming, so I kind of passed over it the first time. So that's why I'm saying I don't really do this. Usually I have to, usually I just take like one look at a mod and I'm just like, that's the one right there, that's it. But this one I actually had to look at it a little bit before I realized what it was trying to accomplish. This is actually a very, very small house. So this will probably be a little bit shorter of an episode as we do the walkthrough. We might do a little bit more detailed look at this one. But yeah, this one is the Tiny Cottage home. I think it was called something different in the hub. Let's actually go back and look. House on the Coast. And here's actually what I'm talking about. Mod.io, for whatever reason, uses different names than the actual in-game name. So this one is by HartChelsea. And I do apologize. I've heard this name pronounced another way, so I'm going to say it could be HartChelsea. That was one off that I've heard once in my entire life, but I did hear it pronounced that way, so I'm going to put that out there. That I do apologize if I mispronounce it, but I'm going to assume it's Chelsea. So this is Tiny Cottage Home by Chelsea. Let's go ahead and go into it. And again, I think this is just going to be another one that's you lose points already. Anyway. Let's see. Yeah, this is another. I'm not sure what's up with the. Let's actually try to navigate our way out of this house before we start talking about it. This one is small enough that I'm not too worried about that kind of situation. All right, so let's have a look at the outside. Very standard craftsman, smaller style. I do like this. The planter underneath the window. I've thought about doing that on a couple of houses. Definitely has like a very cottagecore feel to it. But yeah, this is absolutely like American craftsman style. The only thing it's really missing is just a window in the roof somehow, some way. A lot of vegetation, especially for the fact this is on the beach. You would have to put down like potting soil or something like that because trying to plant this sort of thing on the beach would not work out for you, especially this thick of vegetation. A lot of it would die off simply because of the lack of available nutrients. So I'm going to guess this is like potting soil. And judging by the texture, I'm going to say that's what the developer thought of as well. So yeah, this darker soil is probably just potting soil that's been put down with like a water barrier underneath it. I like the rocks. I like the mossy rocks kind of sticking through the sand. That's a good touch. That's a really good touch. I really like that. Got some elephant ear. Got some just standard bushes and brushes. Got the ivy going up the side of the house. As you remember on my barn build that I turned into a cabin in the woods, I'm a big fan of the ivy going up the side of the house. And I see back here we've got more planters. It looks like this one's kind of overlapped, so probably didn't have the correct width for this window. A little bit of a texture issue, but I'm sure it looks perfectly fine from inside, so we're not going to worry too much about it. Got some more bushes over here. Got a hedge right here. Although I'm kind of curious what the purpose of the hedge actually is. Excuse me. Not saying that there's a problem with it. I'm just curious. Like, was this trying to like cover something up that was broken or something like that? Maybe a texture issue. If it is, it's a clever way of doing it. May have just been a stylistic choice because I do see a lot of it back here, where it's got more elephant ear and ferns, more shrubs, bushes. I gotta say, shrubs and bushes, I am guilty of this more than anyone, so don't take what I say here with a grain of sand. But, sand? I'm on a beach. A grain of salt is what I meant to say, and I do apologize. I am on a beach. I had a bit of a giraffe moment there. Kudos to you if you recognize that joke. Take what I say with a grain of salt here. But I am especially bad with trying to fill up area with just visually with lots of bushes and shrubs and stuff, because they're very easy to fill out an area visually instead of trying to actually manually place things. I love the ivy crawling up the side of this chimney, and I do like the frieze that's going around the top of the chimney as well. Nice little bit of decoration there. I feel like the furniture here could have done with being anything besides white, honestly. Like, absolutely, you could have gone with like the same motif, and then just changed like maybe the. Let's actually see if we even can before I pass judgment on something like that. Yes, something like this, like even just a little touch like this, just change it to like driftwood. Let's see if we change this. Yeah, to driftwood. Even that, like that looks really awesome now. Like it's just a little tiny. I say it all the time, every video. That little extra. It's just that little extra that makes it pop. Let's see. Let's go on around here. Got a couple windows. I don't want to look at the house itself just yet. I want to try to look at the vegetation, what was placed around the house. Yeah, just like this right here. This is visually taking up a lot of space, even though it doesn't actually take up a lot of space, and it's because it's a fern. Ferns are awesome for that kind of thing. They have a really small actual collision box, and it makes them a lot easier to use. And I gotta say, like the gratuitous use of elephant ear here actually aids in that, because it's like a fern, but it has a different shape to it, so it gives it more visual appeal. Definitely a lot of work went into getting the vegetation right around this house. Absolutely, and I love the fact that the texture was changed, because as I said before, trying to do this in sand would be impossible. Like, you wouldn't do it. It just wouldn't happen. Of course, we got a couple of palm trees. I saw the one over there as well. That is one thing I've always noticed is the beach here has like a lot of pine trees, like stone pine. Actually, I don't know if these are stone pine. Are they? They look like stone pine by the bark. But either way, they have a lot of pine trees. A lot of these. I don't guess any of these are spruce necessarily. I guess that could be. It really depends on what area this is meant to be. But I've never been to an area where pine grow on the beach itself, like in the sand. Like, I know stone pine is called stone pine because it has a really easy time of growing in like stony areas like shields or things like that, but I've never seen it in a sandy area. I'm not saying it's a bad thing. I'm not saying the developers did anything wrong. I would actually like to know what this is based on so I can go research it, because that seems kind of like a cool kind of tree if it can grow in sand, you know? All right, so first thing I noticed, transom over the window with the beautiful little area lights right there, little can lights right in the corners. So of course, you know, when it gets to be nighttime, you'll see those glowing right through that transom. And of course, you have the nice little porch light right here. So I'll be honest with you, I'm not sure how I feel about having this being a left-in swing. Indicating that it swings to the left. Doors are always weird, very, very weird, because a left in swing and a left out swing are mounted on opposite sides of the door. So technically you can refer to an outswing as being a right outswing depending on the vendor. There's no actual industry standard for it. It's just that the contractors would still refer to it as a left outswing because it swings to the left. And that makes more sense to me. But different vendors actually have different terminology for how they consider an outswing and versus an inswing. So I noticed that first thing, we've got this hallway that kind of comes in. I'm not sure about that. It's definitely done very, very well. Like, it feels like it's a portal into this cabin. I'm sorry, not cabin, cottage. And, you know, it's very well done. Has this wonderful bit of, what do you call it? I can't remember what you call it off the top of my head. There's a specific term for it, and I do apologize. I have forgotten it. But it has this bit of chair molding, has the floor molding, and it's an absolutely wonderful combination right here. Because they've used what's supposed to be clapboard here, it has this how should I say it? It has a depth. It has a wonderful depth to it that creates this hard, solid line that really separates the upper from the lower, and it makes the wall feel taller because of it. So this is absolutely wonderful. I love this. Got the sliding door here. Absolutely love sliding doors. I really do. I actually genuinely like sliding doors. The only problem with sliding doors is a lot of times, yeah, there's no strip there that could actually stop airflow. So sometimes you'll run into problems where a sliding door needs to stop an airflow for whatever reason. I mean, it doesn't always have to. More often than not, in residential homes, you'll have like the gap at the bottom of the door specifically to prevent stops in airflow. But there are cases where, you know, you need to stop an airflow, such as going from an upstairs to a downstairs, or you need to go like into a basement where it's going to be like very humid, things of that nature. But love sliding doors. I just wish they had a more prevalent use case. Okay, so we got like some hexagonal shelves right here for the shower. Absolutely love it. Got the little, I'll be honest with you, I'm not sure about those plants that are sitting in that pot. These kinds of plants are generally going to be low moisture plants, like I start to say desert environment, but that's not quite correct. They're just low moisture succulents. So when it comes to those kind of plants, I really wouldn't put them in a shower. I could see them being in the bathroom, not a problem. I start to say maybe this one, but that's not really a great one either, especially with the size of it versus that. This is a great idea. I love this. Just the plants, I'm pretty sure those plants would get overwatered pretty quickly with people taking showers in here all the time. They would have to be fake plants to really make this work, to really sell this effect. And of course right here we have like the soap and shampoo. We have a little bit of a beauty product right here. Got some serum. And then over here in this one, of course, you have just a regular standard shelf for any kind of use you could think of. Put anything up there. Put your phone up there if you want to. It'd probably be perfectly fine. I don't know what it is. I've got something stuck in my throat. I don't know what it is. I have been trying to get it out all day, but I could feel it. It might just be a little bit of phlegm. I'm not sure. Okay. So, oh. I love these. I love these bowl sinks. I don't see enough of them. I need to use them more myself. Also, there'll be something in the drawers. Everything I've seen so far has been very meticulously put together. Everything just feels like it's the way it should be, you know? Like this right here, this is absolutely a wonderful setup. Got the toilet paper against the cabinet here. Got the bowl sink. Everything has a lived-in feeling. This is actually the type of build that I usually do. A little bit too bland. I honestly would like to see a little bit more color, just in like the walls and in the floors, things like that. But other than that, there's like the tiny little details. Like this has like the little marble stress lines. The walls have this wonderful geometric shape. Everything has like a wood tone or something that kind of gives it a very earthy, grounded feeling. You have these little splashes of color here and there, but I would like to see a little bit more color, especially like on places like this. This is actually a wonderful use for like the little tiny wall decorations that we can get a hold of, like in here. And I do apologize. I'm playing The Sims 4, and I keep I keep getting confused with which game, this game or Sims 4, has which decorations. But that's why this stuff like here exists, because I wish they were smaller. Really, honestly, I do. Might be a little bit better option elsewhere. But this kind of shows what I mean. Actually, I know exactly what we need right here. I'm just going to go ahead and sell these. I'm actually going to copy your little hook right here. I'm also going to copy your towel. There we go. And I'm actually going to change that towel. Let's see. We've got some green. Actually, that right there. That right there works really well because it kind of gives that little bit more dimension and it's just a little bit extra. But this towel right here could be colored to replicate what's in the fan over here, like this nice little light teal. In fact, we'll go ahead and do it. We actually are going to go ahead and do it. We're going to go something like that. Yeah, there we go. That's what I mean. Just a little bit extra color is all it really needs. Because everything is a little bit bland. And I do see that this door goes right into the bedroom, which is absolutely wonderful because I'm guessing this door also goes in the bedroom. So it has like that double entrance. I love bathrooms that do that, is what I'm trying to say. It lends to an excellent design in philosophy. So to be honest with you, I still am not a big fan of this hallway, but it was kind of like a necessity. And I will admit, like I said, it does act like a portal into this house, and it kind of comes off into this area that's just like a little, almost like a mud room. You know what? They kind of do have a little bit of a storage area here, but honestly, replacing this with like a hat rack and like a mirror and like a shoe rack down here, make this into like a mud room that kind of acts like a portal inside and outside, etc. Would honestly be a little bit better use of the space. But all things considered, the fact that all of this is populated, all of this is placed down, I can't fault it. Although, I will say that, again, we could actually grab this, and instead of doing like the full contemporary, let's just do like even something like as small as driftwood. Just make it match the wall a little bit closer with like that little bit of change in tinge, where this is like a little bit darker, that's a little bit lighter and shinier. Yeah, driftwood actually works really well in this kind of setup because we have all of these darker tones. These I don't want to say darker, heavier tones. That's correct. That's the correct way to put it. These heavier tones that work really well with driftwood's lighter appearance. And of course, we have like the same type. I think they're the same collection. I don't remember what it's called, but this is the same collection as the cabinet outside. Got a candle, got our nice little radio, old school radio. Got a few games, got a few different things here and there. Very, very nicely put together. I like this living room. It feels very small and homely. And of course, I saw this in the pictures, have the exposed rafters up here. I guess it wouldn't really be rafters. It would just be support beams, really. But the fact that they're exposed really lends to the height of this room and would actually honestly have some really awesome acoustics for like watching movies, things like that. Like just sitting on this little couch right here and just watching a movie on this. And of course, we have the fireplace with the proper full fluted chimney right there off the back. Absolutely wonderful idea, especially with the fact that it's like right over here next to this kitchenette. Just a little two-seater island. It doesn't have to be anything really big or really ostentatious. But the cabinets over here, I'm not sure about these upper cabinets. They are awfully high. And I remember I had there was like a cabin in the woods or something. I don't remember. I don't remember who it was by. It was one of the first mods that I reviewed. Had another issue with the upper cabinets being very, very high up. Yeah, you could use like a stepladder or something, but something like this, especially if you were loading up these cabinets with things that you're commonly requiring or needing. And I do notice you actually did put shelves in these cabinets. That is something I really wish these cabinets would just come with, as just their own shelf, so you wouldn't have to do that. But it is what it is. And I noticed you also did the lights inside of the cabinets. That's actually a really cool touch. I never thought about doing that, but that's awesome. An awesome idea I may steal from you. But yeah, having those upper ones, even if you did do like a stepladder or something, that's going to push you like all the way up here. Yeah, like easily up on top of the countertop. That's a trip to the hospital waiting to happen. I'm not even going to lie to you about it. Of course, we have like the induction. I'm not sure about the 4-burner, especially where it's coming over that overhang. I did mention this before, but the induction burners actually work really well for this kind of situation because they don't need anything extra. They just need a power source. But usually, even with those, because they require such a large power source, they need like transformers a lot of times. You would have to have like the fake drawer underneath it to make it really work. I notice you have the oven over here. Usually ovens come with them underneath because the oven control panel can just take up like the front like couple of inches, and then all of the equipment for the stovetop can go behind it. In this case, because it's a four burner induction top, it would require like some heavy duty electronics to go underneath it just to convert that power and make it available to everything. So what I'm actually going to do is I'm actually going to just real quick, oh, there we go. And I'm going to grab the 2-burner version because this version would actually have a little bit easier to, I think that's what it was. Yeah, close enough. I'm actually going to plop this one down right here. A 2-burner version actually would just need just a standard power source. It wouldn't really need anything superfluous to that. Induction burners don't take up a lot of electricity necessarily, especially when there's not a pot on them. They only heat up and pass electricity when that pot actually connects the cycle, when it completes the cycle. But when that pot is on there, of course, when you have 4 pots on it, it requires a lot of electricity and a lot of upkeep in order to maintain itself. So now only having 2 of these burners is actually going to be a lot more beneficial for this type of setup, just because there wouldn't be a lot of extra equipment required to keep that power going. And of course, to see up here, this is where I think this is where I don't know. Was this it? I don't know. I genuinely don't know. This might have been it. I might have been like right here or something. I don't remember. But yeah, live, love, laugh. I'm always for doing whatever you want. But I said it in one of my videos. Those signs always invest upon me a vision of a specific type of person that I'm not sure I would ever want to associate with. But I will give you credit. It works well in this context because you have a lot more of the cottagecore feel than the suburban feel that this creates the negative connotation with. And I see like these nice little custom pictures that are in here. These are not part of the base game. These are absolutely custom pictures that have been thrown in here from somewhere. And if you did these doodles, kudos to you because I love these compositions. The pink works so well for this, and I never would have thought it would have. Got, of course, the flowers right here and these sconce type vases. And of course, the old style fridge with the magnets on it. Oh, what's this? Threatening you with a good. Yeah, okay. Memes galore. Nothing in the fridge. And I've said it before, but I would never hold anybody accountable for not putting stuff in the fridge or in the other cabinets. But as long as you have like the display stuff all filled out, then you're good in my book. I have no problem with what you've done here. There's absolutely everything where it needs to be. Let's go ahead and turn these on just because. You have a socket. I don't see many sockets in many places. Good job for this one, especially with the fact that it's right here next to the TV where it should be. Got the built-in lights coming in from the chimney. Flue, I think is what this particular part would be called. Got the nice little flower and clock over to the right. Very well balanced. Very well balanced. Because you have the outlet right here, this side feels heavier than this side, so you've filled it out on this side with taller objects that look larger and heavier to balance it out. It's a very wonderful composition. Absolutely A+, good job. Ooh, I like this picture. Can I just get a print of this picture in the real world? I would love to give this to my wife. Not to say that I don't like flowers, but I know that she loves stuff like that. She loves stuff that works really well and acts. This is where I was. Okay, I was like right here, I think. I was like right here. So, of course, we have, again, live, laugh, love, live, love, whatever. I don't even care anymore. it's fine where it is. And of course, we got a single bed, so this is probably a house that was intended for a single occupant, if that's the case. And that really actually kind of bubbles up from the rest of the house as well, because we just have like the one living room chair and a love seat. We only have two stools here in the kitchen. Yeah, there's not really a lot that kind of implies there's more than one person going to be living in this house. This is going to be, and I see a backpack here. This is going to be like, just taking a guess here. This is probably someone who worked for a significant amount of time specifically for this house and chose to build it because it's what made them happy. And there's a lot of love that went into the creation of this house. And of course, we see like the laundry room over here, and I see like a couple of hooks and a mirror and that sort of thing. So of course, we have the closet. And I will say, I said this before in another one, but if these are running, you're not taking a nap here. But anyway, there's a lot of love and a lot of care and a lot of attention to detail that went into the creation of this house. And I love all of it, every bit of it. I love it when someone really takes the time and energy to make something that they care about. When you just mass produce houses to put out on the shop to say, look at what I did, or like myself, if I go out and just build a whole bunch of houses just to say that I built them or I flipped them and show them off on YouTube, it doesn't echo the same presence of mind that something like this really echoes. And it's a large reason of why I wanted to look at this house and review it. Like I've said, there's a few things that I've seen that I would do different, but the fact that it was done the way it is at such a high rate of quality is genuinely heartwarming. That's the word I'm going to use. It's heartwarming because they took the time and energy for such a tiny little house to go through all of the little details that needed to be made right and made them right. Like you see all these like little flowers, all of these are individually placed. All of these are individually placed. Everything inside is individually placed. Everything has a wonderful composition that looks like it was made as a labor of love for someone who probably wants to build this kind of house for themselves in the real world. Like how they would build it for themselves if they had the time, the energy, and the capability. Like I can absolutely see, someone really taking this to like an architect and the architect saying, well, we can't really do this, but we could do this, and offering to like lower the window down and bring the cabinets down a little bit. But yes, I could see this being done in the real world because there's so much to it that's done correctly. Not from an architectural or a design standpoint, but from an interpersonal standpoint. There's a lot of this feeling of just being in someone's dream house. And you understand how it feels to stand in someone's dream house because they wanted everything to be done right. They didn't want this to be some manufactured house that they threw together over a weekend. They wanted this to be... I have a feeling that whoever built this, even though it's a small house as it is, they spent a lot of time and effort getting it just right. If they're like me, they probably like tore this room apart 4 times and then rebuilt it 3 or 4 times. Probably tore this whole thing apart and put it back together. Probably agonized over some little detail somewhere that I've completely looked over because it's correct when I see it. But they're probably sitting there watching this video thinking, oh man, is he going to notice this tiny little detail that I'm absolutely agonizing about? No, I'm not. Because if you're watching this, and I apologize if I do mispronounce your name, Chelsea or Chelsea, if you're watching this, this is wonderful. This is genuinely, genuinely wonderful, and you should be proud of what you've built here. Have a good one, my dudes. Cheers.